Today, September 10 marks World Suicide Prevention Day. And this year, unfortunately, there'll be about 50,000 people in the United States that die by suicide. And it used to be, prior to the pandemic, that 1 in 5 of us in the United States dealt with mental illness at some point in our lifetime. Today, that's over 42%. So why the book? Why be nice? Let's first of all back up to why be nice. So when Wayne died from depression by suicide, it was almost immediately that I thought, I guess I'm kind of a fix-it guy, although I've never worked on cars, so guys, don't ever allow me under the hood. But I thought, there's something that was missing. We certainly saw Wayne's depression, and I just didn't know what to do. We got him to his primary care physician, got him to church. He recommitted his life to Christ 4 months before he died, but it wasn't enough. And so I thought, we've got to figure out a way to provide education on recognizing warning signs of depression, because 90% of the people that die by suicide are struggling with depression. And so I started working with this word called depression as an acronym. And Sherry and I showed my wife Sherry, she's being a good wife, she is, that's great, but then she almost immediately said, you need something simple, like a stop, drop, and roll. And when you think of stop, drop, and roll, what do you think of? Fire. Okay? When you think of depression, what do you think of? At Elhart, what do we think of? Be nice, right? And so we needed an action plan and something simple. So we hosted a movie at our church, Christ Memorial Church in Holland, had packed the house, 1,200 people, and had resource tables from resources, Holland Hospital, Boys and Girls Club, Young Life, and the Mental Health Foundation was on that list. And so I spoke with Christy Buck, the executive director of the Mental Health Foundation. I told her what we were looking for is, would you be willing to host a resource table? I told her our situation, and she said, I got to come out and meet you. So those of you who have met Christy Buck, she's a fire plug. So she came out, we spent 2.5 hours talking about our situation, but I told her what this depression, the acronym, she said, well, we have it. What is it? Be nice. We'll explain what that means. Notice, be aware, 2 words. The word be is be aware that 1 in 5 of us deal with mental illness, and mostly it's depression. And then the NICE is where the action takes place. N is to notice what's right and what's good about someone. Unless we know what's right and good about someone, we don't know what's changed about their behavior. So what's one thing that Wayne loved to do when he didn't work? Boat. Loved to boat. He'd be out there with a cocktail and a cigar, and he'd have a little notepad. That's where he did his best work. He'd go down to Saugatuck and smoking a cigar and having a cocktail. But he lived on that boat. 4 or 5 days a week. The summer before he died, he never put that boat in the water. He also loved to ski. He skied, in his retirement, he skied 60 days a year out west. 1.3 million vertical feet. He never made a plan to go skiing that winter. So notice what's right and what's good, but then notice what's different. When somebody exhibits a change in behavior the last 2 weeks or longer, it's a sign of depression. And if somebody exhibits 4 or 5 major changes in behavior like Wayne had, suicidal thoughts are taking place. And certainly, obviously, we saw that with Wayne and confirmed it actually from my stepbrother, who was able to get into Wayne's computer and find out what he was searching. And certainly, sure enough, in January of 2 months before he died, he was searching suicide. So I is to notice what's right and good about somebody, and then notice the changes in behavior. Then I is to invite ourselves to have a loving, caring conversation about what I've noticed about Wayne. I've noticed you didn't put your boat in the water. And I did ask him that question. How was that for you? Well, we got 2, they had no kids, but they had 2 dogs. Those were their kids. One dog was sick, Tucker was sick, And he felt, Tucker was sick, I just felt like I needed to be around the dog. I accepted that. But we have to have a loving, caring conversation and ask, why are these things happening? C is to challenge the stigma, because you know what? With mental illness, depression, it's silent. You don't see it. I mean, when we wake up one day, all of a sudden depressed, you don't say, oh my gosh, I gotta go to the doctor. Well, around Elhart Automotive Campus, we should be, because we all know what it is to what mental illness can do to ourselves and our loved ones near us. So challenge the stigma, but also eventually ask the question, the tough question, that is, Wayne, are you thinking of killing yourself? And that's the question I didn't ask Wayne. And then E, empower ourselves to help that person get professional help. In Wayne's case, he really needed to see counseling. Somebody more than his family members or friends that could help him through that situation. So that is a little sneak peek of the book. Take it home. I hope you enjoy it. I got books up here. I'm going to, if you just come up here, I've put a little message in there. I'll just put your name on there, and I'd like to take that, have you take that home with you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of Be Nice. Thank you for being part of Elhart Automotive Campus. This is a big moment, and thank you for your support as I spent time away from the dealership to work on this project, as well as working on Be Nice across West Michigan, and now we're going to take it nationally by January of 2023, and Caliber Collision is helping us in that regard. So thank you all for your time today.